Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I know these crazy storms have been going all over our country. Some people have rain and tornadoes, and we've had snow. Ours wasn't as bad as they said it was going to be, thankfully. And we got some snow, but it wasn't terrible. So I'm glad you guys are all here. I hope you're all excited because you get to meet a wonderful, wonderful artist today. And I'm excited to have her come on and we all get to talk to her and get to know a lot more about her. So super excited. So let's see who all is here. First of all, let's see who's hanging out. We've got Sue. Francesca is here. Amy, hello. Joe. Sandy's here. Let's see who else. Leanne, hello. Joyce is here. Marion. We are staying warm. It's going to get cold, though. It's going to get really cold. Hey, Tammy, how are you doing? Let's see, who else? Oh, it's -2. Yuck, that sounds terrible. Hi, Dawn. Your temps dropped. I know it's going to get cold. Hi, Sherry. Hello, Dawn. Dawn and Dawn are both here. Both the Dawns are here. Please give a like button. Thank you, Francesca. Nature Girl is here. Emma, hello. Linda, hey. Who else we have? Let's see. Michelle's here. Hi, Michelle. Pauline Art Stuff. Hi. And then we have Paula Bender. Hello, Paula. Anita. Hello from the frozen Missouri, right? I think everybody's frozen. If you're above a certain parallel there in the United States, I think we're frozen. And below that, you're getting rained on. Hey, Jess. How you doing? GMR's here. Lynn's here. Karen. Hey, Karen. Tammy. It's going to be 18 in the Panhandle. Ooh, that's kind of chilly for the Panhandle, isn't it? I'm telling you. I know it's going to be in the negatives on the other side of the lake. You know, we're on one side of Lake Michigan. The other side of the lake, like the Chicago side, is going to get really cold. But I think because the lake hasn't gotten super, super cold yet this year, it's going to stay a little warmer on our side. That's kind of how that works. We get a little buffer from the water on the lake. Sometimes it works to our advantage. Sometimes it's not to our advantage. We get a lot of lake effect snow because of the lake sometimes. But Paula's here and Patty's here and John. You're all here. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you're really excited because this is going to be pretty interesting. So Hava is sitting back there backstage, and talk about color, man. She's got color there. It looks beautiful back there. So are you guys ready? I'm going to go ahead and we're going to let Hava come on in, and you're going to get to meet her, and we'll get to know her pretty good. All right. So here we go. And there she is.
Hi.
Hello. How
this
are
is my
you?
First time.
Yeah, first time being on a live and stuff?
YouTube, yes.
On YouTube, yeah. So if you guys don't know, I've been saying, follow these people on their social media platforms, right? Hava does a lot of Instagram, and it's pretty cool. Lots of little reels and showing your artwork all the time and stuff.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I like to, and you even talked about it one day. You said something like your mom said you're going to get dizzy. What'd she say?
Well, the thing is there's this trend on Instagram that started like a year ago for artists where you're like turned around and then you like turn and show your artwork. And first my mom said, I think everybody is very familiar with your rear end. And then she said that because I said, Mom, this is my job. I have to do this. She's like, well, you're going to get vertigo from your job.
Vertigo. That was it. You're going to get vertigo from spinning around. I think it's cute though.
It is cute.
Sometimes you even show like your whole self and you're like barefoot and stuff. And I'm like, she's in bare feet, but you got some cute little dress on and stuff. It's cute though. I like some of the things you showed. Was it today or over the last couple days? Some stuff I hadn't seen before. Some really, really bright, colorful
Oh
things.
yes, let me show you. Where
Yeah,
is it?
she's got some real bright, colorful things. Well, all your stuff is that one. Yeah, that's the one
And
I
then
saw. Isn't that pretty?
here.
Isn't that pretty? It's gorgeous.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I like that you have all your art there behind you. It looks really nice. It's also colorful and bright and everything. I know. I know. So that's Gaia. But
Yeah.
that's Gaia as a diamond painting. That's
Should I get it? Should I hold
sure.
it up closer?
Sure. Go ahead. So
Uh,
let me give you a little background and then we'll get to know a lot more about Hava. So, you know, since Francesca is in Michigan, I'm in Michigan. That's how I was able to like go pick up paintings from her and meet her. And we've talked a lot about diamond paintings and stuff. Well, Hava is in Michigan as well. So one day it was me, Hava, Francesca all got together, and Hava wanted to diamond paint her own painting. So you'd never diamond painted before. Go
I've
ahead.
never.
Tell us what you think about that whole thing. You opened up that painting and what happened from that point on?
Well, okay, first of all, I'm just amazed at how it turned out. And I
Yeah.
just want to show for comparison. Here's the original painting.
Right? Isn't that something?
So
Are they about the same size?
they're pretty much the same size. This is 30 by 30 inches. And the diamond painting, I think you guys use centimeters, right? But
Yeah.
it's 28 by 28. So it's just a tiny bit smaller. It's huge.
Yeah.
But, I'm used to painting and I can cover a lot of surface really fast. So I got really cocky. I was like, I'm going to get this done by the weekend.
Yeah, I did.
And then I got a reality check. But I have to tell you, I mean, this is my first diamond painting, and first of all,
Mhm.
oh my God, is it addictive? Oh my God, is it addictive? I think
Yeah.
like the first 3-4 times that I was there, it's like it's 7 p.m. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and do this for a little bit.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, it's like 5 in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've only gotten like a little bit done.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
But
So there's the
was-
true size in inches. It's 28 by 28 in inches, and your painting is 30 by 30. So it's not a lot different, is it?
Yeah. Well, I think it had to be that size because there's absolutely no straight lines
Right.
in there. Everything is curved and there's a lot of tiny details. And I'm just amazed at the level of detail. I'll be working on something, I think you mentioned this as well. Like you're just putting like all the little drills next to each other and all these different colors, and you're like, I don't know what this is. And then you look back like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
flower.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was like, I'm doing this. So I was like, oh, wait, I know exactly what section it is. Like it's an abstract area, but I know exactly what it is.
Well, you did because you painted it already.
Exactly.
Yes, you've basically already done it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. You would know what it is. Yeah.
And it was really interesting because there's a lot of places where like it does a very similar thing, like the gradation of color, for example. Like I have a lot of places where it goes from like a dark red
Mm-hmm.
down to almost a cream white.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Those flowers. Yeah.
And then there's also places where you have like a bright orange next to a blue. And as I'm doing that, I was like, oh, that's a really good choice of colors. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, of course I would think that.
I liked the colors when I put them together. The diamonds look good together that way. Isn't that funny? Yeah. So I know you said you were going to have it finished by the weekend, and you realized that was going to take you a little more time, but you still got it done pretty fast.
I did nothing else. I really, it's just, I think it's like almost too addictive for me because I would sit down. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna paint today. I'm gonna do something else. And if I'm even a tiny bit like uninspired or like I'm not sure what I want to do, I'm like, you know what? I'll just work on
I'll just go diamond
I'll
paint.
just work on the diamond painting instead. And it got easier.
I
So
can see
things
it
started to go
taking you away
faster.
from your work. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I could see it taking you away from your work.
Yes, but um, you know, there's something that you learn each time you do something completely new.
Mm-hmm.
As an artist, I mean, I think that goes for everything, but for me, because color is such an important element for me, and like seeing the colors and seeing the image as these little sparkly dots or little squares, um, just made me think of what else I could do. So it
Right.
was actually really inspirational, and
Yeah.
it's not going to be my last one. So
Yep.
but
Do you
I'm
have
gonna have
something?
to
You have
practice
something in
control.
mind?
I don't know yet.
You don't. Well, there's our first question. Sherry's interested to know if you're going to have any more of your work as diamond paintings. I mean, so there's two with Francesca's right now.
There's two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
I don't have a painting of the other one. It's called Fishbowl, but I do have it on a tote bag, so I thought I'd show
There you
it.
go. Yeah.
It's this one.
Yeah.
Fishbowl.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of I really want to do more. And I think I'm gonna paint sometimes with the idea that it might be a diamond painting.
Now, will that change how you paint something?
Yeah, I think so. And maybe it's just me. So maybe somebody who does diamond paintings a lot would chime in. But um, areas where there's too much of the same, just background, flat
Okay.
background, especially if it's a dark color,
Okay.
is not fun to do for a long time. Like I kept like just doing a little bit and then doing some, a brighter section and coming back to it a little bit. It was the last thing I finished. And my work for the most part has a lot of black or very dark background. And I think it's okay when there's some, but I would be more careful about how much flat background there would be.
Okay.
Because it's not as interesting.
Now, yeah, because you need some of that dark background to make all those colors pop.
Yes. Yes.
And don't you now your process, how you start a painting? Explain that. Don't you start with all that background and stuff?
I do. I have a process that is, well, it's hard to start with a blank canvas. That's where it all starts. So sometimes I will just put a bunch of colors on there, and then react to them. Other times I go in and then just do a black outline, like a lot of black outline, and then start coloring it in. And then a lot of times, thanks to like all the new technology, I can take a photo of one of my paintings, or even just a section of one of my paintings, or a photo of the painting when it wasn't finished yet, and print it on canvas, and then use that as a starting point. Because then I already have the background all sorted out, and I can just go in and be creative. And in fact, Gaia, that's how Gaia came about. There was another image that was printed on the original canvas that I was working on, and it was too dark and it wasn't working out. So I was just like, you know what? I mean, it's already a wash. I'll just play. I'll just see what happens. And something wonderful happened.
Yeah. So I watched a video where it reminded me of something that, I don't know, I think all of us did as kids, maybe not all of us, but I know I did, where you just took a blank piece of paper and you did like these like squiggly lines all around like this. Yeah. And then you could color in the sections.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's called, apparently there's a name for it, which I
Oh,
didn't know.
oh,
It's called neurographic art. And
okay.
apparently some psychologists in Russia like invented it, or at least coined the term
Hmm.
in like 10 years ago. And the idea is that it's sort of like you don't think about it. You're just kind of doodling
Yeah, yeah.
and doodling. And then there's like some really, so I actually, I did a couple more so I can show. So the first part, I don't have one that's all just black and white.
Yeah.
But what you do is like once you have the black lines, you go in and you smooth all the places where they intersect so that everything has like, you know, it's all nice and smooth.
Okay.
And then you can go in and color them. So
Yeah, look at that.
this one is just like the beginning one. So I just colored everything in. This one, I colored everything in, and then I already started like, where is it? It's reversed, like doing like little drawings on there. Oh, there
You're
it is.
adding things in each of the little
And
sections.
then the one that you saw the other day, the really colorful one,
Mm-hmm.
that's how it started. If you
Yeah.
look here, you can see, you know, those were the like little bubbles. It's really fun, and apparently it's a really great way to relax.
Oh.
And it's like the number one thing that people use in art therapy. So try it. It's really fun.
Yeah. Is it like, have you heard of Zentangles? Is it, you know, Zentangles was a thing where
You know, somebody just what is it?
um,
I'm not really sure.
like I think Zentangles was like you had those little shapes like that, and then you'd fill in your little shapes with lines and dots and all those kinds of things. That's kind
It's
of like
funny,
that. Yeah.
all these doodles I've been doing since
Right.
I was a kid
Yeah.
now have names.
Right?
Because
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
to me, it's all doodles.
It's all doodles.
It's all
That's
just doodles.
So, okay, let's go that route. You said you've been doing that since you were a kid. So, tell us then. You doodled as a kid, and then what happened, and how did you progress into being an artist?
So, okay, I'll start by saying that it's not any kind of like heroic story. Like some artists who like have always known that's what they want to do, and you know, in my case, a lot of times I kind of fell into it because it was like the easiest way out. Something like that. So I've always loved to draw as a kid. I think all kids do.
Mhm.
But you know, I guess I was pretty good, and my parents offered to have me take some art classes. I think I was like 5 or 6, 7 years old. And all I knew is I don't want any more classes. I don't want any more school. So I said no, no, thank you. And then all through grade school and even high school, it was just like a hobby, an occasional hobby. I would take an art class sometimes, but it was more like, what do you call them? Study hall. Like that's how it felt, because we're just there, you know, we'd have like, we are all going to be doing this kind of thing, and we're all just going to do it. And it didn't really open my creativity or make me want to be more creative. It just was like a fun doodly thing to do. But I was, like I said, I was always interested in art on some level. I thought I wanted to be a fashion designer. And when I got to college and I was pre-med, I took a figure drawing class as my like elective in undergrad, because I didn't know what it was, but I thought I would learn how to draw those like tall, elongated figures for fashion. To my surprise, it was not that. It was like, so, you know, first day of class, this like guy walks in, drops his robe, and
Yep. Hello.
I was an innocent kid at that point. I was like, but uh, I had an amazing professor for that class, and I learned for the first time that you can get better. Like you can learn techniques, and you can, like if there's something you want to do, you can. There's ways to do it. Like you can learn more new things, and also that you can use art to express yourself. Like I didn't know that because it wasn't available for me before then, but I just loved it. Like it was just, I couldn't wait to get to that class. Plus, this is the 80s, and I was already part of like the new wave scene. So people already thought I was in the art school. And then when I got to like walk around campus with that giant portfolio, and I looked like an artist,
I'm cool.
that felt right. That felt right. So I went to the dean and I asked if I could switch to the art department, and he said yes. And then I tried a lot of different things. I tried ceramics, I tried illustration, I tried painting, I tried a lot of different things. I settled on metal because it was the closest thing to jewelry. So I just kind of like trying to like figure out what I want to do. And then I took a history of photography class because I needed one more art history class, and that one was the easiest one to get to and fit into my schedule. And it's all like these dumb
Sometimes that's what we did.
and and it was an interesting class. It was truly an interesting class because up until then I didn't know that there is such a thing as art photography. I only knew it as snapshots. And for a final, we had an option of either writing a paper or making a pinhole camera out of a Quaker Oats container. And if for those of you who don't know what that is, this old-fashioned photography, you make a little pinhole and then you have photo paper inside, and it acts like a lens. And you can take photos with that. Like you create a camera, and they're amazing little photos. And I was like, of course I'm going to do that. Of course I'm going to do that.
You get to play with an oatmeal box and
and I got hooked, and I became a photography major, and suddenly I was starting to really express myself as an artist. And I did that for a long time until I kind of was not interested in photography anymore and decided to go into painting, probably because the guy I was dating at the time was painting, and I would hang out in his studio a lot. And I just started painting as well, and I was like, this is fun. I'm just pushing paint around, this is fun. So I switched to painting, and that was 25 years ago, and I haven't looked back. So
very interesting. It was a twisty turn way that you got to painting.
Yeah. But I think it's, in the end, like I do things and I look at them and like, oh my God, this is what I was doing when I was a kid. Like it was there all along.
Well, somebody said that too. She said, it sounds like the artist in you is just burning to be released. It's like it was there from the beginning, and you've kind of come full circle and learned some things to come back to what you originally loved when you were young. Yeah.
And it feels like the thing, and I know that it does, because when I wake up, and I know that I don't have any other obligations, I don't have to be anywhere, I don't have to talk to anyone, nothing. I can just stay in my PJs or whatever and just paint all day. Yeah. And I'm just ecstatic. Like there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how that's your passion.
Yeah. So Karen, the diamond painting that she has behind her is Gaia, and that is available at Francesca's Studio Works. So I know I've got a few mods in here, and if any of the mods can go find the link to Francesca's website, that would be awesome. You could put that in the chat. And she has, the other one that she has licensed with Francesca's is Fishbowl. Yeah. So those are the two that she currently has licensed as diamond paintings. So you can check those out at Francesca's. I hope somebody can find the link and put it in there. I can't leave or I can't see the chat. So, but yeah. Another thing is you also have your products made into mugs, which I have a mug. Thank you very much. I have a mug.
Yes,
and
full.
and I did go, I bought a bag. That
You
bag is
did.
so pretty. I should have brought it in here. It's already got yarn in it somewhere. I've already put a yarn project in there.
I think you got In Bloom. It's like colorful
Yep.
flowers.
Yep.
Yeah, I
It
have that
is.
painting hanging in my
Yeah, that
there.
one's really pretty. The colors of those flowers were so pretty. So thank you. See, I made Francesca a mod so she could do that. I knew she'd figure this out. She's a smart cookie. um, but you have a shop, you have a website and whatnot,
I
and
do.
you sell prints.
I sell art prints and I sell all kinds of merch,
Mm-hmm,
like tote bags and mugs and
mm-hmm.
t-shirts,
Yeah,
greeting cards. Sure.
yeah.
Greeting cards
How pretty are
and,
those, right?
and calendars and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
So is that basically how you have been selling all of your artwork up to this point? I mean, because this is the first time your artwork has been made into a diamond painting, right?
Yeah. I mostly still like in terms of the amount of money, it's most of it is coming from selling original art.
Okay.
But in terms of just like volume and then yes, through the website, I sell a lot of merch. I mean, people tell me all the time that my art belongs on fabric. So like all the time.
Yeah.
And in another life, I should have thought about fabric design.
Ah,
So so it's just like it makes sense to have it on stuff. It's just it's very decorative and bright and
yeah.
fun.
That sort of could have incorporated the art and the fashion almost. Almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So I have my art on. I printed it on silk scarves for my mom. She and it she loves it. um, and I have there's like these websites like marketplaces like Redbubble.
Yeah.
So and there's one in Canadian one, Art of Wear, and so I do have like a skirt, and I have like, but you're kind of limited to the items that they chose. Oh,
So
there's also
you,
pillows. Can I show
oh,
you a
yeah,
pillow?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I got to remember this question I have for her. She said Redbubble. I got to remember that. Can you imagine a scarf or even a skirt? Oh my goodness, right?
So
Oh,
if you didn't know, Gaia is one of my favorite paintings. So
yeah.
this is a Gaia pillow,
Nice.
and this one
That one's pretty.
is named after my mom, Zoe.
Oh, that's nice. That's
She
nice.
asked for it.
So did you say that you do have some things on Redbubble?
There,
You do or you don't? Oh.
I don't know if they're available like publicly because I did for a long time a few years ago when but they've changed their format so many times and I haven't really kept up with it.
Okay.
So but it can easily be done.
Yeah.
Like I have the account, like it's really easy to add something.
Because you
to it.
basically, when you do things like Redbubble, you basically have to share your image with them, and then they just create the product with the image.
Yeah. So you create an account, and then you can upload your images, and if you can. I don't know if you have to or you can have like a storefront on their website with your stuff.
Yeah.
But it's basically there's like you get a tiny little,
Yeah.
you get a penny or something.
Yeah, I
It's,
know. I bought a couple things off of Redbubble. That's why you mentioned it, and that's why I thought I'd ask you about it.
they've been around for a while. Society 6 and Redbubble were the first ones that
Oh, I've heard of them too.
yeah,
Society.
but even before then, there was Cafe Press. That is like, we're talking like at least uh, almost 20 years ago. Like Cafe Press had some art on demand, like print on demand items like mugs and things like that. But it just keeps, it's getting like you can have stuff printed on just about anything.
Right. Yeah.
Like just about, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the issue is that unless you're going to buy it in bulk and sell it yourself,
Right.
you're just, it's you're giving away your designs
Yeah.
to
I'm certain it's
Redbubble.
I'm certain it's much easier to have things made. I mean, they make them, they ship them, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how my website works now. The items that I have on my website, it's from another company, kind of like
Mhm.
Society 6 or Redbubble. They're larger, I think, but maybe not. But you order something and it comes directly from them. I don't
Yeah.
have to do anything.
Yeah.
So
And it was fast too. It didn't take very long. It was pretty quick to get.
I know, even during the holiday season, I
Yeah,
was
it was
surprised.
right, wasn't it right before Christmas, maybe, I think?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's pretty quick.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's nice. I'm gonna go get the bag real quick. I'm gonna leave you
Okay.
alone. Just sit there and look pretty and show your art some more. I'll be right back.
I'll show one of my paintings. This one is called Demetria. It's hard. I can't. I don't know if, I hope it's visible because I can't see the chat. I don't. Oh, I do. I can see the chat.
Yeah.
Whoops. No, I can't see the chat.
So yeah, here's the bag. It's super
Yep.
pretty. It's my favorite colors, of course. It's got purple and pink. Those are my two favorite colors.
Oh,
Very,
interesting.
very nice bag, you know? It's got nice straps. It's a nice size. Like I said, I've already got a crochet project in here. See?
I love it.
And look, my crochet project matches. Look, it's yellow and purple. Anyhow, very nice. They're really nice. Nice, sturdy, nice, sturdy bag. I like it. So you said that you sell your originals. Do you sell most of your originals?
I wish.
You wish.
I'm in Michigan.
Right?
I mean, I technically sell them through the website, but I think I only sold like a couple of things to the website.
Okay.
Mostly it's when I'm having a local show, so so I sell them locally. But I've only I've been painting for 25 years, and even before that, I guess I was an artist my whole life, but I was sort of like a photographer for a while, and grad school and all that. So I've been an artist for a very, very long time. But I've only started to actually I only created it as a business with the idea of selling in September of 2021. So just
Okay.
over 2 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's when I kind of decided I want to be a full-time artist.
right.
And I'm not there yet. I still have a day job that pays my bills. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
but that balance is, kind of like the day job's getting more and more part-time, and the art's getting more and more full-time. So,
Well,
and
that's
that's kind of
good.
how I want it.
It's good that you can do it like that, though. You
Um,
don't have to just
yeah.
jump right in and just like sink or swim. You kind of have, you have something
Yes and
there.
no. Yes and no. So
Well,
yeah. In a sense, yes. I'm really fortunate.
Yeah.
I've had the same job for almost 20 years. Um, my boss is a really great guy, and I do everything remotely, so I work from home.
Oh,
Um, and I've been doing it for so long that like it doesn't take me long. Um, so I can balance things pretty easily. But there's something to be said, and a lot of artists, like if you listen to them talk about like, they talk about like you have to be all in, like you if you can't have a safety net, because then you're always just going to be like, oh, I don't have to do this. I mean, I don't have, like, and I kind of go back and forth on that. It's like, do I want to struggle? Like, but I know that I could be more proactive if I didn't have anything else to fall back on. So
interesting.
it's,
Interesting way to think about it. There's two different ways to think about that. Then isn't
yeah,
there?
yeah. So, so I try to kind of balance it out and sort of like, I know that one is going up and one is coming down. And,
Mm-hmm.
at some point I can just kind of like let go of the
Let
job
let go of the
and
other one. Yeah.
let go of the other one. But it's also nice to not have that pressure, because it's,
Right.
the art business as it is it's entirely an online business, other than, if I do shows, that
Mm-hmm.
local shows.
Mm-hmm.
But which is great because I have a global audience. Like, I have followers on Instagram from all over the world.
Yeah.
um, and I have, last year I did a commission um, in Jordan, and then I sold a couple of pieces to London and Edinburgh. Like, I've sold pieces internationally
That's nice.
through online, and that's great. But that means that you have to keep promoting yourself. You have to keep putting yourself out there and twirling, and
Yeah.
like risking
And I mean, you
vertigo and
do,
all that.
you, yeah, you do a good job of that. You're definitely
But
out there showing your stuff, and you know,
it's it's exhausting. It's exhausting, and
yeah.
oh, there's days when I just don't want to look at social media. Like, I'm so tired of it. I just don't want to look, but I have to, because
Mm-hmm.
that's my job.
Oh,
And so at those times, I'm kind of like, well, I don't have to. I mean, I have a job. Like, this is like, I can take a little, so like it's easy
yeah.
to kind of like let it slide, and sometimes that's a good thing, because I'm glad I don't
Ah,
need to sell 20 tote bags to pay my rent, kind of thing,
right, right. You don't have to be the starving artist, right?
Right. And it's not that way anymore. I mean, it doesn't have to be that way anymore, because you don't really need, like, it's not like you have to find a brick and mortar gallery to represent you. You
Yeah.
can sell directly. I mean, I think the same thing happened to all kinds of industries, like the music industry, for
Oh,
example.
sure. Yeah.
You can just eliminate the middleman.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And
the internet and everything that we can do now has really changed things so much, made things more accessible for everybody, you know, which is nice. But then I'm sure that you enjoy still like getting out there and doing a show and
I
seeing
do.
people, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's really great to do a show, especially when so like I not this past summer, but the summer before that, I had an exhibition at the Botanical Gardens here in town,
Oh, nice.
and it was just like the perfect place for my art. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
have like a built-in audience, like people who come to the Botanical Gardens on purpose to look at, to experience it, are the same kind of people who enjoy my art,
Yeah.
because my art is all about, it's mostly botanical, but it's
It
all
is.
about nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it was really well received. I sold a few pieces. some to people I know, some to absolute strangers, which is just an amazing feeling to, like they're not doing, like they don't know who you are. They just fell in love with a painting and they're gonna give you their hard-earned money because they
Yeah.
want to have this painting. And that's a really, really great feeling to have, because that painting, as opposed to like a printed mug, the painting is like actual. I spent time on it, and I was saying something. It's a form of expression. Like there's something there that I said, and it's not for everyone, because not everyone can deal with all the bright colors, and not everyone, it's not for everyone. But when it reaches someone that really understands it and wants it, you really feel like you've connected with another person
Right.
on a level that you can't through words, because
Yeah.
it's a different language.
Yeah. Art is like that. Music is like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, some of your pieces, I'll look at some of them and I'm like, I feel, more connected to some of them. Some of them I like better. Like it's more my style and things like that,
Hmm.
So do you do any like art fairs? Or you just do mainly like your own show in certain places?
Yeah. I mean, I really respect artists that do art fairs. And I think if like I don't know if I would do well in an art fair. It's hard to say, because like I said, my art it's not quiet. It's not quiet. And so, most people I know who they love to look at it, and they can live with a colorful mug, but having one of my pieces on their wall is a bit too much, because it's not for everyone. My walls are covered, like this basically my whole place looks like this.
Yeah.
So because it's storage for one thing. But you're sitting there in a booth, you're stuck in a booth, and you're watching all these people go by. And a lot of them, like, they just glance and keep going, or they, if it's not for them, and they don't even like make any eye contact with you, because they're worried that you're gonna like try and like sell them
Yeah, right.
something. And
I know.
and it's really demoralizing. I think, like, to me, it would be very, like, it just would be really hard. And my understanding is with art fairs is you have to do many of them in order to see a return on investment. Um, because you have to invest in like a tent and probably a van. It's a lot of work, like
Yeah.
loading it up,
Yeah.
setting it all up for 3 days, and then taking it down. And you have to have insurance, you have to have time to sit there, for the time that you're there and all that. So and then there's always like entry fees.
Mm-hmm.
You pay for the spot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of overhead.
Yeah.
And if you just do one, like, you would have to sell everything in order to like feel like you made something from it, like to profit. Typically, you sell a little, but over time, the cost per wear, like your tent, you use the 10 times. So really,
Yeah.
it, and then it becomes profitable. And I know artists who are just they that's all they do. Like they just go, they do art fairs all over the country, and they come back again and again to certain ones, and they
Yeah.
have collectors in that town.
Yeah.
But
You see a lot of them. You see a lot of them out there. I've done
yeah.
a couple of, I'll call them a craft show, but there's a lot of different kind of craft. There's a lot of artists that show up at some of those too. And
Mhm.
I know, I've done it. I know how hard it is. It's
It
just
is.
kind of, there is a lot to it. And I
Yeah,
haven't
I
done like
mean,
a big thing or anything.
yeah.
It is a lot of
um
work.
if the opportunity came up and it was like doable, I'd probably try it. But I think it's almost like a lifestyle. If you want it to be
True.
a profitable thing, it has to be something that you do.
Yeah.
And also you have to be an extrovert.
Right. Well, you kind of do. Yeah. You got
I
to be out
am
there
not.
talking to people.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, I can be very friendly, but I can't initiate a conversation,
Nice.
you know.
So we got a couple things here I wanted to bring to your attention. Let's see. Leanne has just bought a mug in organic fiction and a tote bag in, is it Amanita? Amanita?
The mushrooms, this one?
Is that the is it
Amanita patch.
Amanita? Okay, so she just
So
bought it.
I just want you to know, Leanne, that I painted this with my left hand.
Oh, interesting.
And this one and also this one.
You painted that left-handed?
Yeah.
And you're right-handed.
And I have to say, the reason I painted this one, I don't usually paint figures or faces, but Francesca has been encouraging me to do that because that's a very popular theme for diamond paintings.
Right.
And so up until now, like I have done some like mermaids and fairies, and I actually want to show you my mermaids and fairies.
Good. Oh, good. Yay.
So here's my mermaid.
Look at that. It's in the style of like those nesting dolls.
It is. They're not. Yeah, I buy like the wooden shapes.
Okay.
And then I paint them.
Okay.
And here's my fairy. Oops.
Oh, how cute.
So she's sitting on a little mushroom.
That is so cute.
And she's got her little wings.
Aww.
And this one is a little more abstract.
Oh, that's pretty though. Yeah. I like those colors.
And this is another one that's a little more abstract. She's kind of like a little, I don't know what she is.
She's a sassy redhead is what she is.
She is. So so this is, I mean, honestly, this is the same face.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Oops. Everything is reversed on my screen.
I know. You gotta get used to that. It's kind of, yeah, somebody said that they think artists are sensitives in their hearts. They put their heart and soul in, and it hurts when you feel like people just walk by and don't love you or something.
Or you get judged by like some, people who are coming in with swatches of fabric because they're matching their couch, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Like I love interior design. So
they want to see if your painting is going to match their couch.
Well, there's a little bit of everything, but
Sue said she likes the painting that's behind you. What's the other painting behind you?
The really large one?
Yeah.
Let me show you.
What is
that one? I wish I could. So I do these like doodles with just black ink on paper. I do that a lot. And then one time I decided I'm going to try it on a large canvas.
All right.
Okay, just before I move it, I just want people to know that the reason that painting is there is because it's covering up the mess in my studio. So no judging.
No.
So the bottom of it, you can see it's still black and white.
Yeah.
But then I started coloring the top. So.
That one has got like all the colors in it, doesn't it?
I don't know that I can get it far enough here.
Well, it's huge. Yeah.
It's 36 by 36.
Yeah, it's big. It is very pretty.
Thank you. And there's another one. I brought a couple of things to show.
I like that. That one is cool.
Yeah, every once in a while I will do something that's a little more monochromatic, just a couple of colors.
Yeah.
Here's another one that's just a couple of colors.
Yeah.
I'm
Green.
holding it upside down. Wait.
You know, I don't know if I would know if it's upside down or not. The flowers go a certain way.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's, you know, and I've recently started painting a lot of circular canvases. And one reason is because there is no up and down.
Yeah,
like
because it could go,
yeah, like
somebody asked this question about the Grand Rapids ArtPrize.
You know what? I've heard of it, but I haven't really looked into it. I know it's like it's a juried thing, right?
It's a what?
Juried, like you have to apply, and so it's not just.
I don't know. I don't know how you actually get into it, but it's
I'm gonna look into it.
It's huge. Yeah. So okay, this is a weird story. I have a good friend I worked with, and her sister is an artist, and she teaches art as a professor in like Hawaii. And she has made some things for ArtPrize a few times now. And so she comes from Hawaii and brings her stuff to Grand Rapids to ArtPrize.
I've heard that it's a really prestigious thing, and it's like throughout the whole city, right?
It is. They do things all over the city. Yeah. I've never gone to it, but I would love to. I hear so much about it.
You know, I'm really whoever it is that asked about it, thank you, because I remember hearing about it a while ago.
Yeah.
And then it seems like every time I think about it, like the time to like enter has passed.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So and it's a summer thing, right?
I think so. Let me see. ArtPrize. I'm gonna just look it up real quick. See if we know when it is even. ArtPrize 2024. Oh, it's actually September.
Oh, okay.
You have plenty of time.
I have plenty of time.
You have plenty of time. Go check it out. I mean, I think that would be really cool. You do one really fantastic original art item, and they'll display it somewhere. I think that would be awesome, right? That'd be awfully cool.
Yeah. Thank you for that suggestion. That's actually like, you know, I don't think of it as art fair. This is different. It's
ArtPrize has got just a real, like, you know, real name to it. And I was thinking of things more like, you know, Ann Arbor has the big art whatever in Ann Arbor, and then there's the one that's in MSU too. That's just it's a one day thing, you know, and it's down the city streets and whatnot, and they get a lot of artists, and it's
there's a couple of those, and I've been invited to some of them. So I actually had my art, the Farmington Hills the city of Farmington Hills has a very active art program.
Oh, nice.
And I had a few years ago, I had my art at the U of M hospital in the lobby. Giant pieces that I had in the lobby. And I was there one day with a friend, just, you know, taking photos of me with my art. And this woman came up to me and she said she's been there all day in the lobby because I think her father or brother was having like brain surgery or something. And you know, she was just saying that she's been looking at the art this whole time, and it's like really calming and all this. But then she gave me her card and said, you know, get in touch with me. I work for Farmington Hills cultural division, and we do a lot of things with artists. And they have this program that every 2 years they put up inside the city hall building. They have art. In fact, 2 years ago, that's where I met Francesca.
Nice. Nice.
at the opening in Farmington Hills City Hall.
Nice.
And so it's kind of like a mini version of the Grand Rapids one, I think.
Yeah.
But because of them, I got on some lists, and there's a very nice like art fair that's called Art on the Grand, and it's along Grand Avenue in that like Farmington Hills area. It's just a lot of like, it would physically be a lot for me to bring enough stuff for one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But there was another one, and it was in a small town, and it was only by invitation, and it was like really high end, that I was invited to, and I didn't say no. I just said I'm not ready, because it's like a bit of a drive, and it's during it's a big commitment.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they only want me to show like original art, not any merchandise.
Like merch, yeah.
But it's just a table. So, and I've been working on a lot of smaller pieces. So one day I'll be ready for something like that.
Yeah. It sounds like it's getting close to the time when you're gonna start jumping in.
When I've got a couple of toes in the water.
Yep. So somebody said you're very talented, Hava. Your creations are uplifting. Our diamond painting product boxes also have a portion of a Hava piece.
What?
Francesca said that our diamond painting product boxes
Oh, that's right.
also
Yes.
have a portion of a Hava piece. What would it be?
Yes, she.
Is it
I
the
think she
logo?
used. I think it's which one? I want to say it's one of the flowers from maybe this one. From Gaia. The colors are changed, but that's on the box of every
Okay.
artwork.
All right. Francesca said it is juried. She's found that out.
The one in Grand Rapids.
Yeah. And then somebody said, I know ordinary people who have put pieces into ArtPrize and have done well.
Okay.
Goodness.
I will look it up, and you can hold me to that.
There
Ask
you go.
me again.
We'll find out when you're going to be at ArtPrize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What else do we have here?
You are near Lansing, right?
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah.
Yep.
Is that? I'm not really. That's a different direction from Grand Rapids, from where I am. I'm in Ann Arbor.
Well, yeah. So, yeah. So I'm on the way to Grand Rapids from you.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Okay. Ann Arbor, come through Lansing, and then over to Grand Rapids. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of snow?
We had like 3 or 4 inches. So not too bad. I mean, it was coming down for a while, but it was the green one you showed, but also has the blues, she said.
Yes, there's a blue one that matches the green one.
Is that the one that she was saying has the part of her box is from that one? I don't know. I don't know what part. I'm trying to think.
Do you have a box? I don't have the box anymore.
No, what part of her box is from your art? I don't know what that is.
Do you have a box?
I do. Let me grab one real quick.
Yeah.
Entertain.
I know.
Entertain again.
Let me show you something really abstract. What this is actually is dry paint, like my paint palettes. This is what my paint palettes look like. They're ceramic, and they get like caked with paint. And when you soak them in water, you can just peel it. So I was peeling it and then gluing it onto the surface. And then I added some more color on top. So.
Okay, whoa, let me see that again. What is that? That's the paint from the palette things?
Yeah. But I mean, I added other things to it, but like this one right here is, because what happens is I use them over and over.
Yeah.
So when you peel it, you'll see like the colors that were underneath.
It's more than one color.
Yeah,
Kinda
and
mixed in
it's
there.
you can't predict. Oh, and the other thing that's on there is even more interesting. So I don't know if you can see these little like textured things.
Yeah.
So what those are? Let me see if I can find one. So this is some paint, and
Oh, no, the thing
over
off the top
time,
of the oh my gosh.
this stuff
Ah,
happens.
oh my gosh.
And I have a bunch of them glued on there.
I mean, who would have thought to do that? You, clearly, but I never would have thought to. That is cool.
There, I just, and I have so many of them, and like I'll peel them, like this is so pretty. I need to do something with it. So,
That's cool. That is cool, though.
okay, did
Okay,
you get the box?
so Amy is the one. She's from Grand Rapids, so she's the one that knows about ArtPrize. She's the one that's been talking to us about ArtPrize. So, are we talking about this?
Yes.
Okay, we're talking about this picture right here, and
Can
so
you hold it closer? I can tell you which one it. Let's.
That came from one of your paintings.
It's from Gaia. It's just the colors have been reversed. I'm looking at. Oh wait, is it Francesca? I don't know.
It's got a weird. There's it better that way. Got less glare.
Yeah, it's not from Gaia. It's not from Gaia because
She says it's from. Let me see what she say. The green one is in bloom.
oh. So
Interesting.
it's from this one. It's one of the flowers from here.
Oh, that's what she said, I think.
There's a blue version.
Right, Dawn. Nothing wasted. Right. Use all the paint and everything. There you go.
Nothing wasted. Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna bug her now, right? Yeah, I didn't know that was from one of your paintings. I had no idea. But, and then of course she's got it pixelated.
Yes, that's
into diamonds too.
Yeah.
So, yep, it's from the blue version.
I'll go get the blue version
and recolored slightly.
I just hold on.
You guys know your stuff here. I didn't even have a clue. I didn't know. That's interesting. At first I thought, wait, was it just like the little, like the logo thing here with the leaves or something? But I didn't even know that it was that you were talking about. That's kind of cool. Nice.
Okay, I can't get the blue version because it's in storage, but I do have like the color version. This one started red, and then I added more colors.
These little sections.
It's this one right here. It's this flower.
Okay.
Because it has those little circles.
Yeah, with the dots around it.
Yeah, it's this flower right there.
It's the top center flower.
Yeah.
That's what she said. That top.
And here's Amanita.
Oh, and there's the mushrooms. That is so cool. It's got little dragonflies on them.
Dragonflies.
I love dragonflies. Dragonflies are one of my things. Dragonflies, hummingbirds. Those are my flying creatures that I really like. So
I have hummingbirds on one of my paintings. I don't have it here, but
yes, Francesca and I have talked about one of your paintings. Yes, and that they were all white on the painting.
Yeah,
we've talked about that painting. Her and I have.
Yeah.
Pollinator's
Paradise. Yeah.
I
talk about it. Gosh, the painting is it's too hard to get to right now, but I love watching nature shows. And I watched one about flowers and pollinators and like the relationship that they have and how the flowers have these colors on a spectrum that we can't see, but the bees can see them. And it's they're contrasting colors that sort of like look like a landing strip to like help guide the bees to the nectar. And I just thought that was so fascinating. And I just started thinking about what else can't we see that's there. So that's in part why it's just so colorful. I was like thinking about the way they would see it.
Yeah.
But also I left them white like ghosts, because I was also really thinking about the fact that we're losing our pollinators.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
That's true. Like if you think about so many of the flowers, like I love to grow lilies and tulips are two of my favorite. And so many of them have what they call like that throat that goes inside. You know, it might be orangish, dark petals on the outside, and it changes colors. It goes in, it makes that throat inside, which is leading them right down into where the pollen is. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Sean said, I love that science inspired by you. Yeah, we got science and art, right? That's cool. Yeah. Well, you know, and so inspiration wise, I mean, clearly you are all about plants and nature and animals. So
I am. I am, but when I like talk about my inspiration, like the way I talked about it on my thesis, and I still use that, is I look at patterns. I look for patterns, and I look for repeating patterns. And I love that in nature, the same pattern repeats over and over. You know, to give an example, like if you look at like nerves, like human nerve system, and you know, like this pattern right here, like this could be a brain, like a brain stem. This could be tree branches, or it could be the roots, or it can be like the blood vessels, and it can be like, it's the same pattern repeats over and over. Like if you see like an aerial view of a river, it does the same thing. And that this you know, and of course there's like the Fibonacci and all those other patterns, but like the more you see it, it's just a design that works. And so it's used over and over in different ways. One of the other patterns that I really love, that I repeat a lot, are like little circles. Little circles, or like the honeycomb shape. And they're in here too. Little circle, you can't see them like pixelated here like that, but they're there. And so sometimes it's all about where it is. Like, so the same like little circles together, they can be eggs, or they can be pollen, or they can be, you know, they can be a lot of different things. Bubbles, like a bubble nest for a betta fish. You know, they can be a lot of different things depending on what purpose they're serving.
Because like when you draw a flower, like your flowers aren't necessarily a specific flower. Like you couldn't look at it and say, well, that's a lily or a tulip, or because yours are more, I mean, they're more imaginary flowers that you made up, which is cool.
So I'm more interested in, like, you know, my flowers like look a lot like my jellyfish, because they, you know, I love the tentacles. There's so like shapes that repeat, like like these seaweeds here, and even the coral. Where it is, there it is. So for me, like I love thinking about what's there right in front of us that we can't really see. But you know, nature is always there, and it's doing its thing, and it's doing it so perfectly. Perfectly.
Interesting story is that when I was teaching second grade, we did this thing called Annie's Big Nature Lesson, and we would take the kids out every day to a nature park, and we did little lessons there every day. We'd journal we'd have reflection time, and we'd do all these things out in nature, which was awesome. The kids loved it. And one of the things that we did, one of the lessons we did was that pattern thing. And so they had like a sheet with all these different patterns that can be found in nature.
Oh, wow.
And there were branching, a lot of branching. So they would have to go around them in their area and find something, some plant, stick, whatever it was, that had that pattern. So branching was one. Lots of swirl was another one. Oh my gosh, it's been so long now. I can't remember all of them, but that was really eye-opening for me.
Bubbles on Gaia.
Yeah. The first time I did it with the kids, it was eye-opening for me how many of those patterns were out there.
Yeah.
And then once the kids started looking and finding them, it was amazing how many of those patterns you could find in a small area where you were sitting or walking or whatnot. So it's pretty cool.
Something like that to me really, like when you start noticing them, when you really start noticing them, I feel like it's almost like a secret door that you go through, and you have this like instant connection with nature.
Yeah.
That kind of like bypasses all the normal channels. It's like, I see it. I get it. I see it.
Yeah.
I remember in one of my first art classes in college already, we had a similar assignment almost. We had to walk around. We had like either crayons or I think it was crayons and paper, and we were looking for patterns and then like doing a rubbing.
Oh yeah.
To get that pattern. And I was walking around looking for patterns, and after a certain point, like, you know, I would see something like a building, and I'm seeing the pattern, like I want to like put my paper up against the building and take that like the scale didn't make much sense anymore to me. It was just the pattern was there regardless of whether it was really small or really large. I could see those patterns. So it's a really similar kind of exercise, and it's
it's very cool.
It really is, because like it's just, we go about thinking things are random, but they're not.
They aren't. And I'm certain there is a reason why those objects that are shaped that way, there's a legit reason why it is that way.
There is, you know, there's a field of science called biomimicry. And the idea there is that over millions of years, nature has figured out the most elegant solution for everything, for, you know, generating energy and growth and everything. And it's all done with like simple ingredients, and the byproduct is usually like water or oxygen. And so one part of it is scientists who, like, I know examples, one example that like, or two examples that come up a lot. There's a train, like a really, really fast train, and I think it's somewhere in Japan. And it's the fastest train, but when it would come into the station, it would like create this like sonic boom, almost like it was just really loud. And so the scientists were looking at this bird. It's a bird that dives into water, and they were looking at the beak, and they like literally took that design and redid the front of the train, and it worked.
That's kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah, another one that comes up a lot, I think it's also Japan. It like they were city planners, and they were planning a new like a rail system to connect everything in this town. And they took a petri dish, and I don't like, so that maybe it already existed, but they needed to find like the best way to connect everything so that you don't have to do a lot of, like, if you want to get from this part of town to this part of town, you don't have to go all over the place. There's like, you know, the best ways to connect things. So they did this experiment with slime mold. They put it on a dish of agar, and they put little bits of food that slime mold likes. I don't know, probably sugar.
Yeah.
They put them in different locations where they had a station. And what the slime mold does, and I think the slime mold is like one organism. It just kind of like multiplies. It's like it, what's the process? Where it just
When they
creates two of
separate
itself.
them.
I forgot the name of it. Is it? But it eventually found all the food and the easiest way for to connect everything, and it was basically the same as the real pattern.
Yeah.
And scientists have also used it for like creating waterproof or self-cleaning materials in the same way that like a leaf like stays clean. It's when the rain, like the way like dew rolls off a leaf, it collects all the dirt.
Yeah.
The leaves are clean.
Jess, that is an asexual reproduction?
Yeah. They're mitosis. Mitosis.
Maybe.
I didn't do well in biology.
I know, it's been a long
I don't like
time.
to learn what I'm told to learn. I only like to learn what interests me.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, there's a whole like field, to study like nature already did this and did it well. How can we take that and apply it to
we can learn from nature?
Yeah, so that we're not like splitting atoms and blowing up our planet.
Right.
Creating
the things we can learn from nature. Yeah. All right. I'm going to ask a question, and you may not know the answer, and maybe you do, and maybe we don't want to answer it. But is there talk between you and Francesca about more diamond paintings of your art?
There is talk. There's always talk.
There's always talk. Yeah.
I mean, it's Francesca. I have to say, I'm so impressed with the whole process.
Oh yeah.
Because it's really, really high end. Like it's just really quality, high end, and she found like people that are honest.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't steal the art or so on, and all of it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So yes, there is talk, and she's always like, she's like, you should do, try to do a fairy or a mermaid, and so
yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. So this is you're doing something a little different with your art this year. You're bringing out like things you haven't finished. You're gonna bring out.
I do that a lot. Yeah.
You bring out some whips, and you're gonna work on some other things and complete them and things like that.
Mm-hmm. I love doing that. I can't even tell you how many unfinished paintings I have. Like it's more than 100.
Is it really?
Yeah, a lot of them are behind that canvas.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw when I lifted it. I have rolled canvases.
Oh.
Lots of rolled canvases. So some of, sorry, small place. No. Prints on canvas of things that I worked on that I want to like take in another direction, like this one.
Oh.
Fiesta.
That's pretty.
But it printed really kind of dark. Like there's a lot more oranges and yellows in there. Like, and digitally doesn't really work. So there's a lot of canvases like that where I am going to put something on there. I just not sure what. But then there's also a lot of work that I started, and I like to work on unstretched canvas.
Mm-hmm.
It's just easier. There's There's only so many like big,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and I can store them easier.
Oh,
Or,
trust
you
us.
know,
We're diamond painters with many, many whips. We understand all of that. That storage
that's
thing.
true. That's true. So you do
Yep.
understand the difference. Yeah. So
Yep.
I have dozens and dozens and dozens of these. Like I have about 15 rolls, and this is a pretty small one. So
So you've got lots of things to work on that you've started that you could possibly finish.
mhm.
And then I'm sure that you'll just sit down on days and be like, nah, I just want to do something completely new and different and just throw
Yeah,
something on canvas.
yeah. I mean, I'm also actually what I really want to do because I have all these like leftover drills. Um, there were
Oh,
more colors than, you know. So and there's a lot of really beautiful colors. A lot of the AB
uh-huh.
drills as well.
Uh-huh.
So I got some glue that's meant for like freeform
Oh
diamond
boy.
painting.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know yet.
Oh, you don't know. I thought you had an idea already.
I mean, um, I have a couple of ideas, but the thing is that without like the grid,
Uh-huh.
without the grid, it's it's hard to keep them, you know, to because they look so good when they're all like this, like
Yeah.
side by side, so perfect. Um, and without it, you know, I don't want to just make. I don't know. I'm not sure. I have some ideas, but I'm not
Well,
sure.
I'll tell you, I just saw somebody post the other day in some group. They took a glass, like a wine glass type thing, and just created a little pattern with some of their drills on a wine glass and just glued them on there. I've seen people do things on like boxes, like you take a box and you put something on the box, right?
I have some like forms that are still blank.
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
cover the whole thing with.
yeah. And make some patterns and just, yeah.
Thank you for that idea. Because I kept thinking about just, you know, a flat canvas.
No,
Um,
see, Jess said just freestyling it. You can put them on anything with the right
yeah.
glue, and just make it awesome
This
and
is the
cool.
this is the glue I got. I hope that will work.
It should, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had to actually glue some of my drills on one of my canvases the other day because it didn't have any glue on it. So I'm sitting here with a little pair of tweezers, dunking each one in glue and putting it on the painting. And I was like, okay, wow.
Oh, you don't know what happened to me. I had so many like little hiccups
Oh
when I
yeah, I
was
know this
first.
one. Go ahead.
So the first one, you know, is I was working on a section and I kept resting my hand on the, you know, it kept like getting on the glue. And so I have like a little patch on the bottom here somewhere where the glue is really weak because I kept touching it. But then I did something worse. Um, I had the painting on my table. So, and I took off quite a bit of the plastic, the wrapping plastic, because I was sort of working on it. And then I went to run some errands and I came back and I put a plastic bag
Right on top.
on the glue. Um, and yeah, and it was like a really, you know, plastic bags these days are really thin.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, I was there, it took me like 2 3 hours. I was there with tweezers
Pick that off.
picking little pieces. I mean, I immediately like I messaged Francesca. I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? And she sent me a tutorial, and which really helped because apparently like if you use baby wipes or something
Mm-hmm.
like that,
Mm-hmm.
it
I think
helps.
most of us have stuck something in our canvas glue before.
Yeah, but I was working with tweezers and like a little scrapey tool, and I scraped some of the glue off.
Yeah.
So, you know, I needed to get some.
Some other glue to put on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny. Like, I think most glues will work on that. I did mine the other day with like just a clear tacky glue. That
Oh,
worked
really?
too. Yeah. Yep.
But the glue that's on there is pretty special in that it doesn't dry out.
Well, that's what we all think. We don't know what's going to happen in 20 years down the road, right? That's always the question. What is going to happen to all of these in 20 years down the road? They're supposed to be.
How do you display them?
Well, if I'm going to display them, I frame mine, and I have some that I have framed under glass, and I
Okay.
have a few that I have not put under glass.
Does that, if is putting it under glass, does it take away from the shine?
No, no,
No?
no. I mean, no, they're still really shiny. You might, depending on the light, like I get a lot of light in my house because I have tons of windows. I might get some glare on the glass, but, they're still just as pretty. So, yep, Jess has stuck her paper on there. Yep. Sean gets cat prints in her glue. I know. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm in good company. I
Oh,
think I
yeah.
went through everything that you could go through.
Yeah. We've all done something. I tend to get a lot of my own hair in my diamond
Yeah.
paintings.
Yeah, that
Constantly
too.
getting my hair. I'm like, where's the tweezers? And hair, like one single strand of hair, I think is one of the worst things to get out of your glue because you get tweezers and you get a hole and you pull it, and what do? You break it. And so part of it is still stuck in your glue and you still haven't gotten it all out of there. I'm like, oh my gosh.
How about working late at night and putting a layer of glaze over a finished painting to come back in the morning and see that there's a hair in there?
Oh, yeah, then you really stuck it in there. Yeah. Yeah.
You got to work with it.
Yeah,
There's some extra paint.
I know.
Oh, I meant to do that.
Well, we totally appreciate you coming and spending time with us and
This is so
letting
fun.
everybody know how this all came together, your art and all of that stuff, and that you enjoyed doing the diamond painting so much. I'm excited to see what you want to diamond paint next. That's what I want to know. What are you going to
Well,
diamond?
it's going to be colorful, you know that.
Of course, yes. I wouldn't expect you to do something that's like all
pastels.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So,
but it would be interesting to do something that's very different from how I paint.
right? Yeah.
Because I mean, as if there's people there who also paint or draw,
Mhm.
and then they do the diamond painting, I'm sure they experience the same thing. It's like
Yeah.
you can't help but think about what the artist was doing.
Right. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like retracing their steps.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's been fascinating. I'm
Thank
glad you
you.
could join us and all of that. So stay warm. Hopefully we're done with the snow for a little while. I know it's going to get cold now. So
It's
stay
gonna get
warm.
really cold. Oh my God, it's gonna get really cold.
We're going to keep in touch and see if you connect with ArtPrize. See what
I
you
will. I am going to do that, and I have some like friends that live there that I can.
Awesome.
But I mean, I'm sure I can find the information online.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that idea.
That would give you a bit of a challenge to create something just specifically for that. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess we're going to sign off here and let everybody get on with their evening. And again, thank you very, very much. And
thank you.
I'm so glad that you found Francesca and she found you, and you were able to create a beautiful diamond painting with one of your pieces of art. So
I love it. I love it
it's
so
so
much.
pretty. It's so pretty. It's got a ton of ABs in it too.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're all over. All those flowers have ABs in them, and it's gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. I'm glad you liked it.
I loved
The
it.
look on your face when you opened it, you were like,
I know.
That was fun. I'm glad I was there. So anyhow, all right. Well, we'll be talking to you. You guys have a nice night, and
Thank you.
we'll see everybody later. Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
Bye.